For my first interview, I interviewed my mom, who took an unorthodox approach to college. After graduating high school, she went right into the workforce, first waiting tables, then landing a steady job as an accountant. From there, she was fortunate enough to have her work help her pay for school. After obtaining her degree, she went on to become a manager, as it was the only way to advance in her field. An interesting quote that came from my mom was when I asked if she regretted not going to college right out of high school. Her response surprised me when she said, "No, of course not. I was in no way ready to do that. If I would have tried, all I would have done would have been bankrupting myself and dropping out."
My aunt went to Cal Poly Law School. Her education was very traditional. She took no years off and went straight to law school after graduating with her bachelor's degree. She finds that higher education should be everyone's personal goal and not forced upon by their parents or other influencers. She stated during the interview, "I apply my college degree every day when I am defending my clients in court." With that in mind, she told me that her personal college degree is very useful to her occupation. If she had not gone to get her law degree, she would not be able to be a lawyer and not know what she would be instead.
I interviewed my best friend's dad, Chris Walhoff, and we talked about how his time in high school and college affected his degree and the job he has now. In college, he said that he chose his major based on what would make the most money. This led to him becoming a chemical engineer major, and he decided to work as an oil recruiter as his main source of income. After a while, he decided that he didn't enjoy what he was doing and ended up going into a completely new job field. In our interview, he said that the degree itself was not helpful, but people valued my work more because of it.
During the interview with my mom, I learned a lot about her college experience I did not know. I learned that it took her a while to get her first degree, but when she did, she loved it and went back. After having my 2 siblings and me, my mom went back to USC to get her doctorates in education. She told me that college is more than learning about the field you want to go in, but also learning about yourself and the world surrounding. I found this to be very wise. She is now a director at an education center for the public, applying her college degrees every day. Her experience answering the question of whether or not her college degree was useful was very simple: yes.
I also interviewed Christine Walhoff, Chris Walhoff's wife, and she said that contrary to her husband's beliefs, she really needed her degree to help her in her current job. She currently has her degree in business plus religion and said in our interview, "Yes, my degree is helpful, but I definitely couldn't have done my job with only that. College helped me gain skills I need for everyday interactions."
During the interview with my girlfriend's dad, what was interesting was when he talked about the issues with college today. He explained that, "I get it, you want kids from other countries to come to your school, but to have a quota for it is ridiculous. If my kid has exactly the GPA you're looking for and around the same SAT and he's in the same state, why should he get beat out by some kid overseas?" This standpoint was really no surprise to me, as he is rather conservative in his values.
In the allegory of the cave, Plato states, how could they see anything but the shadows if they were never allowed to move their head? Which correlates to our interviewees who overall said that the process of getting their degree was more valuable than the degree itself, and gaining an education allowed them to gain more knowledge about what they would be exposed to in the workforce.
While conducting our interviews and finding our research, all 3 of us noticed a strong connection to Louis Manann's article Live and Learn, published in the New Yorker. In the interview with my mom, she mentions that she was only able to advance in her field due to her college degree. She received specialized training and insight on how to better perform in her line of work. This lines up perfectly with Manann's Theory 3, that education is meant to specialize and teach skills needed for the workforce. For Sydney's interviews, both lined up with Manann's Theory 2, but in different ways. For her first interview with Mr. Walhoff, he says that college should be used as a learning tool instead of just getting your degree and leaving. In her second, with Mrs. Walhoff, she lines up with Manann's belief in college socializes, as she believes these are the very formative years of their life. And as such, students should discover who and what they want to believe as a person. For Chloe's interviews, it lined up with both Theory 2 and Theory 3 once again. For Chloe's interview with her mom, her approach was more similar to Theory 2, in that college also socializes. A quote from her interview is that college is more than learning about the field you want to go in, but also learning about yourself and the world surrounding.